Today on the channel, we're going to fix my Les Paul Classic and install this wiring harness I got from 920D Custom. Alright, today on the channel we're going to take a look at my sick Les Paul Classic. And when I mean sick, I do mean it is sick, like it sounds awesome, because these Gibson Classic 57s are killer, but it is sick. I've got a toggle switch that I had installed. Let me take this a step back. There's a video from several months ago where I bought this husk from the Stratosphere, and these husks were really affordable. They were just over $1,000, which, you know, that's a lot of money, but for a Les Paul gloss finish husk, that was a pretty good deal. And I got the Tune-O-Matic bridge, and I got the Grover tuners for $50 each, so I had about $1,200 invested in a husk. And I had the pickups, and I had some pots and a toggle switch, but the pots were not the best. They turned out to have some issues. I've got a ground issue that I cannot solve. I've even brought it to one of the tech guys I use, and he kind of had it figured out, but there's something going on. And this toggle switch was a little bit older when I put it in, and it's wobbly and loose. So I'm gonna reinstall a toggle switch and volume and tone pots today. And the guys over at 920D Custom were nice enough to offer to send me some components to put in here. So what I've got today, check this out. I was totally blown away. I got this wiring harness that's got everything. I mean, this should be the easiest install, knock on wood. Knock on maple cap. This should be the easiest install known to mankind, and I'm looking forward to it. This is really clean. Check out this wiring. I mean, it's precise. I could never wire anything this nice. So being this is a actual Gibson Classic, that was a husk that was put together, really this will complete the project. This will be fantastic. So I'm pretty stoked, and they sent me got this little guitar pick in here, and different color caps for the toggle switch. That's cool. And you got your instructions and a little nice 920D Custom decal in here, and some other goodies. That's just my receipt. So there you go. Awesome. I am so excited about this. So let's get this thing installed. I'm going to tear out all these parts, get the strings off of it, and I'm just going to show the install of this, and we'll go from there. Cool. Okay, so just like magic, and about 15 to 20 minutes later, we've got this thing gutted. Got all my parts and my magnetic dish over there. My soldering iron is nice and hot. Got the cavity emptied out, and got that ground wire sitting there ready to go. As you can see, this ground wire was already wired up to the post of the bridge, and got my pickups over here that we're going to reinstall. We're going to start with this three-way toggle switch. It is a Switchcraft. So we've got two wires that are going to run to the these two wires are going to run to the pots, and this one's going to go to the input jack. This is a ground. This middle piece here is the ground. I really like how you get this instructional card. Just one card on what to do. They tell you, if you don't know what you're doing, they tell you how to take out they tell you to take out all your old stuff, get it all out, cut your pickups out, etc., etc. But over here, it's all color coded, and we're working with a switch. So as you can see, here's the bridge and the neck, bridge volume and the neck volume right there, and the two lines. It's color coded down here. So the switch is going to go to the middle lug of each pickup. So there's a middle lug. Okay, We'll show that in a second. And then this other, the ground wire that's in the middle of this is going to go to the input jack. And it's going to go on that lug. And then the pre-wired piece of the switch is already wired. So all this is done. So the only thing that we're going to have to do is take the braided wire from the pickups, solder it to the top of each pot, and then to that first lug. And that's it. I mean, this should be easy cheesy. So I'm going to stick this toggle switch down into here, and you always got to run this wire through the body. There's a hole that's screwed in, or that's drilled in precisely. There's a cavity that's drilled all the way through there, and it comes out right there, and you're going to run your line so that it comes out into the cavity of the guitar, right? So I'm going to do this first. So I'm going to get that installed. Then I'll install the knobs. It doesn't really matter if I do the pots first or the toggle switch. And once we get all that in, then I'll run my bridge pickup. I'll show that, and my neck pickup. We'll solder those. So let me get this toggle switch wire ran through, and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, so we got it pushed through the body. I've got the little screw tightened up, and it's nice and solid. Got the cables here that we're going to run through the body like this, and they kind of go through right down through there, and they're going out through the back side of the guitar like this. Gently get this thing leaning over, and then pull the remainder of these out. Sorry for the camera work, it sucks. But anyway, that's what you do. You pull it through. And then I'm going to install these pots. And then we will solder the lines, the wires to the input jack in the pots as the directions show us. And then solder those pickups in, and boom, we're done. I figured I would show just a few minutes or a few moments of this. Just taking the parts off of the box, or off the plastic plexiglass thing here. And one thing that I did pay attention to is the neck tone is where they've got the input jack wired to. So this input jack right here is wired to the neck tone, or the bridge tone. I shouldn't keep saying neck. I don't know, I'm saying neck. The bridge tone. So when I take these out, I will know, just because I get myself all screwed up when I wire stuff. I don't know what it is. I've done it for so long, but I still get things screwed up. But I just want to make sure I know which one's bridge and which one's the neck and all that stuff. So these components are really nicely just screwed into this plexiglass thing. I know someone will probably comment about me and my handy dandy crescent wrench that I always use, but hey, it works for me. And all this stuff just came out, and it's got the lock washers on everything. So we're just gonna go bloop, flip it in the guitar, flip it upside down over there. So I'm not gonna show this. I mean, it's pretty basic. I'm just gonna flip this upside down, stick it in that cavity, and it's going to be installed. So I'm going to show you what this looks like once I get it in there. This will probably take 5 minutes. So wish me luck. Okay, so that went really smooth. Everything went in place just fine. Got the volume pots and the tone pots where they should be. What we've got to do now is wire the ground wire to one of the pots, just to make sure that there's no ground issue. And we've got to wire the ground wire from the toggle switch to the connector on this right here, right there, on this input jack. So these cables, there's a long one and there's two shorts. These shorts are going to be for treble and rhythm, and the long one is going to be for the the ground. So we're going to solder this baby right there, and then run it through the input jack and put a screw and a washer on there, or a nut and a washer on there, and we'll be set. Then what we've got to do then is run these pickup wires through the cavity, and we will solder the lug wires, the wires onto each lug for that lug and this lug, and then we'll put a drop of solder on each pot, because these are Gibson pickups, and you can see it's the shielded wire, and these are classic 57, so we'll put those in and it should be great. So I'm going to solder this input jack, put it in, and then we'll be back in a moment to wire in these pickups, because I'm gonna do all the toggle switch wires to the volume and volume pots, and then we're gonna run this to the input jack. Very good. All right, so we got it all in. Got these wires from the toggle switch wired to the center lugs of the rhythm and the bridge volume pots, and we've got the input jack soldered and ready to go. So we're going to install these pickups. We're going to run the pickup wires through the body, and for those that haven't done this before, you got to do the neck pickup first, because you've got to run the wire through the body. If you'll never get it in the right area if you've got the bridge pickup in first, so then you have to take all this off and see where your wire's going. So I'm going to get the neck pickup wired first, get it onto the neck pickup volume pot lug, and then we'll put the bridge in, and then we'll test it. Okay, so we got the pickups in and they are wired. Got everything wired in the back. Everything looks pretty clean, and it should be good to go. So let's plug this in. I've got the champ sitting over here. We're going to run it into the champ and see if we got signal going to the pickups. Okay, we're going to run this thing in there. Okay, power on the champ. Wait for the tubes to warm up a little bit, and then we'll do the test. There we go. Cool. Looks to be good. I don't know if that tone knob is working. I may have to check, make sure that the tone capacitor didn't come off. But everything works. Everything works as planned. So we'll string this thing up, put the knobs back on it, clean it up just a little bit, and give it a test. Okay, so we got all the components in, the wiring harness tested out okay in the Fender Champ as far as the signal. So I got it strung up, and we're running it through the Fractal Ax8 and Pro Tools. Going to see how it sounds. We're going to roll back on the volume a little bit, test each pickup out, and see if we got any kind of static or any weird noises with these pots. Make sure the tone sounds good. And once again, this 920D wiring harness was super easy to install. I really think they make great quality products, and I appreciate them sending this to me to fix my Les Paul Classic. So let's give it a shot. I'm on the bridge pickup, full volume. Sounds great. All right, let me roll back just a little bit. treble roll off here. Like it. All right, so the neck pickup, full volume. Roll it back just a little bit. These pots sound really clean. My ground wire issue, my ground hum is gone. The treble bleed I had going on, it's all out. Let's roll back the treble on this and see what this woman tone sounds like. Middle. So I'd say that installation was a success. 920D custom. Check these guys out. I'll drop a web link in the description below. And really nice, high quality products. Thanks again for sending this to me and helping me fix my Les Paul Classic. It's back to fire, breathing magic once again. Thank you.